15. Check 15. And we welcome you back to beautiful Greenwood High School, where they are at the beginning of Game 2 versus Siloam Springs. Greenwood won Game 1, 10-0. Tim Terry walks himself right in the door. You talk about perfect timing. We're about to get started. I've got
How
your
about
book
Sleepy
ready.
Zitzman with the walk-off jack in Game 1? I was keeping an eye on things.
All right, there you go.
This it?
This is it. Mason Moore on the mound.
Yes. That's Wills again leading off for Siloam. Ball 1.
And I know how when you do the book for Tim, you put numbers for positions. You don't dare put CF, LF, shortstop,
Right.
SS. We see a ball fouled off to the right side in play. Holt's helping him. Plenty of room. And we see Pettigrew make the play about 8 feet from the fence.
Well done.
Out number 1.
Love the communication. You hear Ty saying, you got room, as loud as he could. And Pettigrew, no problem out in foul ground.
Well, in Greenwood's, we've talked about foul ground here. Greenwood's got a lot. You could do so much with the facilities just because there's a lot of room. Beautiful setup for a baseball field. 3:30 down the line and left.
Jack O'Brien kind of ducked out of one that I thought got back in for a strike, but it was called a ball.
Well, now you and I have to adjust to the new zone.
Yes. He's their right fielder. This is swing and a miss.
And we talked about Moore has a lot of movement, but back to the first game, that was a no pitch, what we were talking about. And he said, I told Carnes and Ty right when it happened. That's why they didn't really do anything. Ooh.
Just missed outside, 2-1.
Wow. You talk about a zone that already seems to be a little bit tighter.
Mm-hmm. Moore up on top. That was chopped foul towards the Greenwood dugout, third base side. Tim Terry, Keith Hogue, glad to have you aboard here. Game 2 of this doubleheader. 10-0 run rule win for the boys from Greenwood in Game 1. Puts them at 6-1 now and 14-4 overall. Moore brings the 2-2 home. This one's a little flare. Carnes runs over and makes the grab right in front of the shortstop for out number 2. I'll call that a line out to 5.
Yeah, and Ty was kind of sneaking towards the dugout, and then he come back and told the umpire. He just kind of said, hey, good thing nobody saw me running off the field. That was only 2 outs.
Here's Jacob Davis. He's their first baseman. Left-handed bat and a called strike.
Get a little step-back point action.
Yeah,
So
I like it. 2 outs here in the top of the first, Game 2. That one's fouled out of play towards Smith Robinson Stadium.
we didn't go over any of the defense, so the only thing that really changed was I think Bircher's in right field now, and he switched over with Holland, who's going to be your let's see. No, Morgan's hitting in the 9-hole, so Morgan's still at short, and he's actually hitting, so Holland is the one that's kind of out. Holland did his job and has nothing to be ashamed of. He did great that game.
Yes, that one's outside 2-2 now as Mason Moore up an 0-2 has thrown consecutive balls out of the strike zone. Here's the 2-2. Stayed out there again, full count.
And you see it at every level, too, with high school, that there's a lot of dual-position players, and when Carnes goes from pitcher to third base, you have to move people around, and you have to be we see strike 3 thrown on the inside. That's a two-seamer that started probably on the line of the left-handed batter's box and made its way over to the plate. Great job by Mason Moore.
No hits, no runs, no errors. No one left on base. They got him in order. A pop out, a little line out, and a backwards K for Moore. We will go to the bottom of the first. Dogs coming to bat. No score for Siloam. Let's take a quick break. It's Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. Minute.
Sweet. Got you on. We did good, huh? Took care of you.
I went down there and voted, and they were starting our second meeting, and so I may try to sneak back down there where this is over. Hopefully it's still going.
Hopefully this will be quick again.
Yes. 11-4, top 6 softball.
Game 1?
Yep.
Well, got a little quote from Brewer just talking about how that, Petty, Carnes, and Ty really didn't. I mean, I know Ty had a couple RBIs, but should have been probably better. But the fact that everybody else did it is good. That's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get high energy out of the entire lineup and production out of the entire lineup.
Certainly did, too.
So I guess, you never know if one of those meetings are going to be a success. You can always tell 24 hours later, and I guess it was.
Right. All right.
Checked in.
We welcome you back to Greenwood 5A West baseball here on the Sports Hog 103.5 and on Greenwood Sports Center, live streaming on YouTube. Bulldogs coming to bat. Bottom of the first, Braden Skaggs, Ty Holt, Grant Carnes. Then Brady Pettigrew, Jackson Cole, Austin Mitchell. And then Zach Zitzman, Austin Bircher, and Brady Morgan here in Game 2. And this is Braden Skaggs to lead off.
He's batting .350 now. His average went up after last game.
Yeah, fantastic. A little 2 for 3 afternoon for Skaggs in Game 1. Equals 17 batting average points. And the first one's a ball outside and low.
Well, more important, it sets the plate, puts pressure on the defense when you get speed out there, especially a senior that's good at base running. He ran a double that was probably a single for anybody else out of the box, and he just hustle plays. Whatever Coach said to him yesterday seemed to work because there's definitely some more energy all the way around.
2-ball count to Skaggs. There's a hot shot to third, right to the glove. Across the diamond, got him for out number 1. 5-3 on the putout. 1 down for Ty Holt.
Sometimes you just hit it too hard.
Yep. This is Jonathan Hyde up on the bump for Siloam.
Holt's average dropped to .358 last game. Had a couple RBIs.
And first pitch swinging, a little 6-hopper did a high hop at the grass, dirt exchange there to shortstop. He makes the play, though. That's may look pretty easy on a ball that can gobble you up at times.
Well, that's that lip that we talked about that's helped Brady Morgan a few times. So it helped some shortstops at Greenwood that if you're not ready for it, it could eat you up.
And here's Carnes now. First one to Carnes is swinging. Another high chopper. Third base got it on a big old softball hop, but the throw's way high. And Keith, I don't know if that throw was going to beat him anyway.
It was. That's probably an infield hit.
Yeah.
When you got speed and that's what happens on that high chopper.
You see a lot of them softball slappers do that, bounce it real high up in front of the plate and can beat it out. And that's kind of what Carnes did. I'd like to have Carnes on a co-ed softball team. Let him hit dingers out of whatever park we're in. Here's Brady Pettigrew. 2-out rally time here for these Bulldogs, our first baseman. Pettigrew came in batting .283. And the first one fooled him off speed pitch. Tried to check it up, could not.
Now, that's the beauty of baseball, especially you have pitcher one that's fastball with a little bit of run in, and then the slider, and then now you've got a slow curve with the fastball with the velocity way down, and same, Greenwood pitchers change, and if your batters don't make adjustments, you're going to struggle.
There goes the runner. Pettigrew looks at ball 2, and Carnes goes in standing up. Just shows you the speed. Wasn't even close. 1-1 now, Pettigrew with an RBI chance here.
Coach is yelling slide because, you can mess up the guy catching the ball, too, and the ball can get by. It's just too much bad can happen if you go in standing up.
Well, and to an abrupt stop it on the bag with your foot as opposed to sliding in kind of as with a parachute, if you will. There you go. Pettigrew slides one through. The shortstop tried to gobble. Carnes never checked up. He's heading home. He will score. And a 2-out rally is in progress as Carnes comes in to score on the RBI single from Pettigrew.
Good job of Carnes never stopping, knowing that there's 2 outs. The pitcher kind of stayed in the middle. If he doesn't cut that, Pettigrew's probably ending up on second base. He was waiting for the throw to kind of see if it got through their cutoff. Shortstop stopped it, and I don't know. It probably been better if he didn't hit it and it went all the way to the left fielder because he smoked that ball pretty hard.
Yep.
Good to see Petty get a hit.
Absolutely. And an RBI, and Pettigrew logs his 16th RBI now of the season. Here's Jackson Cole. Lifts this one to center, right at the center fielder, who has no trouble with it. And the inning will end. The Bulldogs made a little hay, though. Got one across on 2 hits. They did leave a man on base. We've played 1 inning of baseball here in Game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader. Greenwood 1, Siloam Springs 0. Quick break on the Sports Hog 103.5. You can give me 30 seconds is fine. Did Zitzman, he knocked in 2 or 1 that last at-bat walk-off?
Was it Zitzman that walked off? I kept your book.
Oh, we welcome you back. Oh, Bircher, my bad. We welcome you back.
Yeah, we were just talking about the last game, and Bircher's ball would have been a double. It was right over. It was a high chopper that went right over, and once it got over the everybody just kind of stopped because everybody else was like, "Oh, that's it."
Right.
But you made it just like, well, was that foul? Was it fair? But I mean, everybody stopped. Bircher got a single instead of having a double, but we scored our 1 run, and that was it.
And you have to do that, Keith. You got to take care of business. I mean,
for sure.
Guys in the cellar, all due respect, yada yada. You have to go ahead and run rule.
When he challenged them, I'm pretty sure yesterday he challenged the guys and pretty much said, "Look, we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We're not hitting where we're supposed to be as a team."
And Mason Moore back to work. This is Max Carter in center field.
And I kind of looked at it yesterday, so I could tell you.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
We were barely 300, and we moved up almost 5 points to 305. Just after 1 game.
There's a shot right back up the box into center field, a 1-1 single for Carter. Moore had to kind of get out of the way of that one.
He hit that one. He barreled that one. We call that a good barrel.
Yeah. Well, here comes their designated hitter, Braxton Majors.
Designated hitter number 14, Braxton Majors.
It'll be interesting. We get new coaches. We know coaches in the conference what their tendencies are and what they do. It's nice to see what this coach is gonna. If he's gonna be a guy that runs a lot, bunts a lot, is he a small ball guy?
Yeah, Michael Smith, first year up at Siloam. Curveballs, he went. Certainly did.
Well, Ty asked him twice. Was it okay? Did he go? Was it a strike? I mean, if he didn't go, it was a strike either way.
Correct, but it was ball 1. I thought he offered for sure.
See, and I wasn't as much watching the offer as I was just the pitch itself.
You're right. That one's at the knees for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mason's got such poise, though. You got to hit right back at him, and it doesn't let it bother him.
Man at first, stays there. This ball's chopped off the plate in fair ground. Moore off the mound, makes the throw easily to first. And Petty tried to sneak one in behind the runner up at second base. Morgan there waiting.
I'd like to know. I don't know what Ty was telling him. I thought he should have went 2. I thought it was hit. The runner didn't get a great jump, and Ty's the only one that can see that.
Yep.
Do you think he had him at second if he throws it at second?
I never even looked that way. I'm just going to try to get the out at first, to be honest with you. Didn't even look that way. Here's Brady Addington. He's their third baseman. And a ball to him.
I'll go back afterwards, and thanks to the workmanship of Sean Hall, and I'll be able to watch it and see if he should have thrown it to second, and that's all on Ty. I mean, if he doesn't know, he can't do it.
Right. That's inside 2-0. I find it hard to believe you go back and critique your kids' playing efforts.
I mean, no. I mean, some people do. Some people do that.
Here's the 2-0. And that's outside 3-0. Well, there's one reason why you've got 2 of your children playing college athletics right now. You don't just get to go to Geno's after this and then go home and play video games.
No.
I mean, you can. That's fine. Mine does. I did it. Here's a 3-0. That's in there for a called strike. Brady Addington.
We've had to see Mason adjust to the strike zone. They are two different strike zones. If you watch the first game, you'll see.
Here's a 3-1. Swing and a miss. So he's came back, got it full now. Mason had him in a 3-0 deficit. Here's the 3-2 now. Man at second. This one's ripped right to Morgan. He makes the stab, and hustling back was Max Carter. There's 2 down.
Carter got a good read off of it because if he hesitates or goes towards third on the hit at all, Brady, his momentum was taking him towards second. He probably gets it the double play.
Here's their pitcher, Jonathan Hyde. Left-handed bat. First pitch fouled straight back. Strike 1.
And this is where you'll see this is important. We talk about if we don't talk about Ty and the job he's doing, that's what a catcher is supposed to be. Is you're not supposed to think about him. But Mason throws a lot of balls that are swung and missed that are in the dirt. And
home plate blue just couldn't do it. He talked himself out of it.
He did. You think he regrets not calling that?
I guess so. There was still time to call it. It's 1 and 2 now. That one's fouled out of play. It'll all come back around.
But finishing that thought is, if you can keep it close on anything in the dirt, then the runner stays at second, and then with our outfield and the infield, and I like our chances of not letting him score.
Right. And swing and a miss. To no avail. Mason Moore gets his second strikeout of the ball game, and the Bulldogs get around a leadoff single there. There was 1 hit and 1 left on base for Siloam. Greenwood leading 1-0. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Give me a chance to tell you that our game today is brought to you in part by our Grand Slam sponsors. JH Automation Solutions, Craig Gigerich State Farm Insurance, Ducks Body Shop, Freedom Roofing, MSG Waste, Shirley's Tax Services, Taylor Family Vision, Top Notch Roofing, and Virtue Energy Services. Bulldogs looking for a sweep here at home. Big road trip next Tuesday, guys, as we head to Mountain Home, weather permitting. So that's also my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to try to take her to birthday lunch before we head out to Mountain Home.
That'll be a big series. If you can complete the sweep here, and then you play the other team at the bottom, which was at the top at one time. Well, I say they're middle now.
Yeah, I think they were 4-0 to start out.
And they've since slid a little bit, but you got to take care of business against the teams from the middle down. You just have to. And I know we say you split on the road. I should rephrase that, and we should clarify that you split on the road against the teams 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
First, second, or third. Those are the teams. You shouldn't do that just to everybody. Put a blanket statement out there that you split on the road.
Right.
The teams are supposed to sweep. You should sweep.
Softball wins 12-4 in game 1. So, Coach Hart got the girls up and running over there in the softball diamond. Well, here we are. Greenwood's ready to go. In the bottom of the second, and this is Austin Mitchell and looks at ball 1. Jonathan Hyde kicks and fires. That's outside. 2-0. 1-0 Bulldogs. That's a chopper right back at the pitcher on one hop. He'll run it over about halfway, then underhand it. 1-3 on the put out for 1 out. And here's Zach Zitzman, the DH for the Bulldogs.
And again, we're going to need to make sure we continually put pressure on the defense, hit the ball hard, make them make plays like they did on Carnes. Carnes hitting the ball, running hard down the line, and then see what happens.
Mountain Home's 4-2 coming into today. I beg your pardon. Yeah, 4-2. And Zitzman swings and fouls the first one. He sees back towards the fencing. Strike 1. Van Buren swept them last week. Zitzman, left-handed bat. Outside. 1-1 now. Mountain Home will be at Russellville tomorrow. Or play Russellville. I didn't see if it was going to be on the road or at home, to be honest with you. Here's the 1-1 to Zitzman. This one's ripped to right field, high in the air. The right fielder has the bead, though, and makes the catch right at the warning track for a loud out from Zitzman. Nonetheless, it's the second out.
That ball was inside, and I don't think it found full barrel. If it finds full barrel, it probably makes his way right over the, what is that, the Gammo sign?
Yes. Here's Austin Bircher now, the Greenwood's right fielder, and the last chance for the Bulldogs here in the second. High it up on top for Siloam. Bircher shows bunt, pulls back, and rips this one right at the third baseman, and he boots it. That's an error, and Bircher will be aboard as that ball goes out into shallow center, and Birch thought about, he took a big turn. I know that was Tony probably saying, make him work for it.
Well, if the shortstop doesn't go after it, he basically hits it to the shortstop again like they did earlier off of Ty Holt. It went right off his glove and right to where shortstop was. And Bircher saw it, and the shortstop had to do an about face and turn and go to shallow center field to get the ball.
Well, here's Morgan. Brady came in batting .250 on the day. Has played exclusively in the conference second game. It's been pretty good. Had some timely hits.
I think, and I can double check it here in a second, but I'm pretty sure he's batting about .350 in conference play.
Looks at the ball at the knees for strike one. 2 outs here, bottom second. A 9-hole batter. Brady Morgan, our shortstop. He's a sophomore, right?
He is.
Fantastic. Stepped out of that one.
He did. His feet. He's got to get control of his feet if he's going to be consistent in the box.
That was one to drive, too. Just slid a bit on it. Into an 0-2 hole now. Let's see what Morgan can do. Hyde checks the runner, comes home with it. There's a rip towards shortstop. One hop right in the breadbasket. They're going to call him safe at second. Everybody's safe. They went to second trying to get him out, and they couldn't do it. Went ahead and tried to first to no avail.
Well, he's hit hard enough. He smoked that ball. He probably should have just went to first base. He's got a clock, too, and he sees Bircher going on contact. And instead he tries for the force play at second and ends up reaching on, I guess that would be a fielder's choice.
Yeah, certainly. We go to the top of the order. Here's Braden Skaggs now. Skaggs with a nice first game, 2 for 3. Got the average up to 350. 0 for 1 here in the nightcap, though. He grounded out to third as bottom of the first. This one's ripped to center. Is it shallow? Nope. Center fielder was deeper that time. Came in about 5 steps and drew the bead. And Skaggs will go down for the third out. No hits, no runs, 1 error on the third baseman. We left 2 out there. We've left 3 here so far in the first 2 innings. But the number that matters is the one under the runs column. And Greenwood has 1, Siloam 0. We'll stay right here as we head to the third inning.
Well, we just don't need to make it a habit of waiting. I'd like to see Greenwood just one time in a good conference game score 5 or 6 in the first inning and not wait a time through the lineup to score all the runs, which that's what's going to end up happening again because we're back up to the top of the lineup.
Yep. When Moore back to work for the Bulldogs on the mound. Today's game being brought to you in part by our Grand Slam sponsors, J&H Automation Solutions, Craig Gigerich, State Farm Insurance, Ducks Body Shop, Freedom Roofing, MSG Waste, Shirley's Tax Services, Taylor Family Vision, Top Notch Roofing, Virtue Energy Services, and Webb Energy Resources. Moore came into today 4-0. Second on the team in strikeouts with 36. He has added, 2 today, I believe? Yes. So he's up to 38. And here's their left fielder, Samuel Avery.
Again, he's turned into, first of the year, you probably pencil him as a 3, but he done so well in the spring to start off the season that he was the obvious 2. And then, save. And I think that came about when Mitchell had some tenderness in his shoulder. And then now you can, of course, he's valuable in center field. Mitchell is. So this way you don't have to move him around unless absolutely necessary to close out a game.
This Avery guy, we didn't see him in game 1. He's in left field here in game 2. Just missed.
That's not a miss.
1-1. It's like the umpire's kind of mad at himself for not calling it, but there's plenty of time to say strike. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Yeah, we see him grab dirt, and he's like, I should have called that. He's done that 3 times with Mason. It's like he's confused from the pitches.
Right. This one's in the air and fouled back out of play. Samuel Avery. He's a right-handed bat for Siloam. 1-0 Greenwood.
You think umpires ever go back and watch their game like what we call?
I guess they think if they have it, knowing that it's on TV, they might. Well, that's strike 3. Holt caught it. Avery tried to sell it, but Ty did a good job of going out and stabbing that breaking ball out of the dirt. And strikeout number 3.
If they knew the job that Mr. Holland does on this, they'd go back because you can see exactly which ones are you miss, which ones you should have called.
Right. Here's Blake Beckett. He's their second baseman. And a called strike. He's the 9-hole batter for Siloam. Moore kicks and fires, swings and misses. It's one inside on his hand, just
sword.
Yeah. Tied him up. He had nowhere to go, just flail at it. Got him. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
And we talked about the other umpire came in, and we talked about it while you were gone. Talked about how fast he goes. Carnes loves to work so fast, and he goes, I couldn't get him to slow down. I go, well, it's up to you because he's going to go faster. He's going to go as fast as he can.
4 strikeout for Moore. Here's Nolan Willis. He's back at the top of the order. Popped out to the first baseman to start this game off. Mr. Pettigrew. And Moore will kick and fire. Breaking ball didn't come in enough, just a little inside.
And you can say you want about pace of play and stuff, but having the earpiece for Ty and Coach Adams to be able to tell it to him that quick, be a chopper up the middle.
Cole went and got it at the base, safe. Not in time. Ball just took a long time to get there. It'll be an infield single.
But that's helped a lot. It helped a lot for Adams because Adams can instruct Ty and talk to him, and then Ty can immediately make the call, and you're not having to look at armbands and wrist and
pull it out of your pocket.
Pull it out of your pocket.
Here's Jack O'Brien, a good Irish kid. Gotta be. I mean, that's a perfect Irish name. He's a right fielder, lined out to Carnes. First time up, looks at one on the outside, Black for a strike called.
You just gave 2 touches. That's going to be with 2 outs. Your percentage of scoring with a runner at first and 2 outs is very low. You need to try to get him to second.
And reaching out and tapping this from, or lifting it foul, if you will, out of play right side. And Jack O'Brien's got himself in an 0-2 hole. 1-0 Greenwood, top of the third. Game 2 of this doubleheader. Mason Moore, Game 2 starter for the Bulldogs in every conference game so far. There goes the runner, swing and a miss to no avail. And Mason Moore strikes out the side.
Oh, baby. I'll say it for you.
Yes. 5th strikeout for Moore. And the Bulldogs got around a hit. They left 1 on base. They've left 2. Have the Panthers of Siloam Springs. 1-0 Bulldogs, middle of the 3rd inning. Let's take a quick break on the Sports Hog 103.5. Yeah, 30 seconds is fine.
I forgot.
It's your son's birthday?
I mean, I didn't forget his birthday, but I forgot I hadn't said anything to it about it. We told him we got him an eclipse.
Just the background. I don't know if you can
make it dark too.
A navy blue number. Mr. Hyde, he's not. Maybe navy blue for the score. Okay.
Leading off for the Bulldogs, the catcher, number 24, Ty Hope.
We welcome you back to Greenwood, 5A West Baseball. Bulldogs and Siloam Springs. Greenwood won game one, 10-0, 5-inning run rule. Here's Ty Holt to start the third. Grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Greenwood leading 1-0 here, and looks the first one high and inside for ball one. Holt, the freshman catcher for the Bulldogs. And Hyde on the mound. Holt, a shot to third, boots it. Waited too long. Another error on their third baseman. That's his second. E5. That'll bring Scott Holland out to run for the catcher. Of course, courtesy runners in high school for the catcher and the pitcher. Here's Grant Carnes now. He's 1 for 1, singled, scored a run in the first inning. Pettigrew's RBI single. Holland with good speed. Sanford talked about pressure on the base paths. Let's see if they can apply some here. Carnes digs in. Heading to Wichita State right now. First pitch is high and tight. They hold Holland over at first base with Jacob Davis. One ball count to Grant Carnes, Greenwood's third baseman here in game two. Just missed outside.
It was a ball off.
2-0.
Set on fastball, a big gap in left center.
Carnes needs a big fly. Get this thing rolling this middle of this season here. Here's the 2-0. Not there. It's high and tight. 3-0. Pettigrew on deck. They're scurrying a bit in the bullpen down there. Just playing some catch right now for Siloam.
It's probably by committee. They've got two main guys they've used, and after that, it's who can throw strikes and get them. And you can't let Graham get anything started here. He's going to go out there and have a talk with them. Probably start getting somebody hot as we see Coach. You said Smith.
Yes,
Coach Smith. Take Coach Smith walk out there.
4-pitch walk to Carnes, and now Greenwood's got first and second with nobody out. Michael Smith, their skipper. Perfect day for baseball here on Eclipse Monday. Hope everybody's eyes are okay.
I think so. They hurt for a while. It's like going to the club at late at night, and then all of a sudden tell everybody to go home. They turn on the lights.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. You've lived a sheltered life, Tim Terry.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Tried with a welding helmet at first and went ahead and went with the X-ray glasses or whatever you call them to look at the Eclipse. Here's Pettigrew. RBI single in his first at-bat. And Hyde up on top for Siloam. The right-handed pitcher checks on Holland twice at second. Comes home. This is in the air. And get back here out of play. Off with the mask. And didn't have a chance. See, and Keith, it was sounded like a funeral out there. Wills never once told him he had room. He was just a man without a country back there. Their catcher, what's that say on it? Marlette?
Yeah, and it seems like you're running for days. And I'm sure he's thinking, why haven't I run into the fence yet?
Well, your teammates kind of tell you, got room. It's a strike to Pettigrew. After all that's said and done. And Hyde's up and ready. Man at first and second, nobody out for Greenwood. Here it comes. Over but low in the dirt. 1-1 now. Grady Pettigrew. Greenwood's first baseman. Looking to get something going here. Here's the 1-1. Outside. Holland got a bad read, but a worse throw helped him get there safely. Yeah, he was going to be dead meat. Thought that ball scurried away, and it did not, but the bag is swiped nonetheless. Carnes moved up as well. Whew.
Well, the only thing that bothers Coach is, he's got to see that and make sure that in the future that don't happen again, because if you play a team that all the catchers have got to do is get that ball to the third baseman, and you run yourself out of a good inning.
Whew. Dodging a bullet. No, and they can't really give an error on that. It'd be nice if you could for the catcher, but he can't assume the out, I guess. Here's the 2-1. Outside. Pettigrew only has a base open now, so I'd like to see him get loaded up for Mr. Cole with nobody out. It looks like their bullpen boys are going to head back in. This may be the last pitch. Mr. Hyde gets the throw. It's a shot to third. Got through the 5-6 hole. Holland will score. Carnes on his horse. Windmill from Brewer. He'll score easily. And 2 more RBI. The throw goes through and gets past the catcher. Pettigrew will move up to second base. And the Bulldogs lead 3-0 now. Oh, baby, I love it.
Well, that's why the third baseman, as you see the guy coming in, he's got to be the cutoff, but he's got to be the cutoff halfway between the mound and foul territory, and he's not. So the pitcher's just kind of hanging out there, and the pitcher wasn't backing up the catcher, and the poor catcher's got left out to dry on that ball that got by him.
3-0 now. 2 runs across. Here's Jackson Cole, flied out to center on his first pitch he saw to end the first inning. 2-0 now. Greenwood with a crooked number up here at the bottom of the third. A chance for more with Pettigrew out at second. And Hyde brings it home. There you go, Cole, into the center field. That ball, one hop to the center fielder. They're going to hold Pettigrew up. It's runners at the corners now for Greenwood. Well done from Jackson Cole.
Yep, nobody's there. He's got a big lead because there's nobody trailing, nobody behind him. He's just kind of waiting for something to happen so he could steal second without having to steal second.
Right. Well, here's Austin Mitchell, grounded out to the pitcher. A little comebacker earlier. He's 0 for 1 here in game 2. Runners at the corners now for the Bulldogs center fielder. How quick do you send Jackson Cole?
Oh, first or second pitch for sure.
And he coming home with it. And there goes Jackson. The ball's fouled straight back from Mitchie.
Jackson can't be jabbing back to first base on a high leg kick.
Yeah.
He's going to make it there anyway, but again, it's about everything's got to be in preparation for playing the top teams in the conference or the state.
Yep. 3-0. Greenwood leads here in the bottom of the third. Mitchell trying to keep this 2-out rally alive. I say no outs. I beg your pardon. I don't know where I got 2 outs from. There's no outs. They throw over, and Cole dives back in head first. Holt reached on an error. His courtesy runner Holland scored. Carnes walked. He scored on Pettigrew's 2 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss from Mitch. Cole swipes the bag. They played the old trick game like they were going to throw down. It was cut off by the pitcher, but Pettigrew wasn't going anywhere.
Didn't really sell it very much.
And Mitchell's in an 0-2 hole.
The least you can come out of this is something ground ball to the right side and score 1 run. Again, this is situational.
Just missed low. 1-2. It's a good take.
Yeah, it was low. I don't know what anybody. I mean, it's the same zone we've had.
A
little bit tighter than the other one.
Here's a 1-2 from Mr. Hyde. And Mitchie tried to go the other way. Fouls it out of play. 1-2.
Well, the thing, I mean, you're not going to get overpowered by this pitcher, so you can't strike out. I mean, make contact. You got to see contact, even if it's as late as possible. Second baseman's deep. Ground ball scores 1 for sure.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a shot in the 5-6 hole. That's going to Pettigrew come in. Cole on his horse. No problem. He'll score. And Mitchie in to second base. 2 more across on the couple RBIs for Mitchell. We give him a double there or single?
It's a single on the throw. Yeah, moved in on the throw.
That's what I thought. The 2 RBIs are for real, though.
Yeah, he got them both. And he earned them. It was a good piece of hitting. Again, He didn't try to do too much. Didn't try to hit it hard. He just got the barrel to the ball, hit it between the 5-6 hole, scores 2.
Still nobody out. Bulldogs have plated 4. Mitchell's at second. Here's Zitzman, the 6th batter of the bottom of the 3rd. Zitzman flied out to a deep shot to the warning track his first time up to end, or I beg your pardon, was out number 2.
And you can see the right fielder now. He's learned his lesson. He's about 3 large steps away from the fence.
First one's a ball to Sleepy Zitzman.
We talk about the ball just carries and goes to that corner if he can find it in that gap between center field and right field.
Runner at second is Mitchell. And Zitzman lays off that one too high, 2-0.
We haven't missed as many fastballs. I know we're not getting ultra fastballs, but we haven't missed as many. We've been more selective. I don't know how many strikeouts we've had on the day, but it's not because we're chasing balls out of the zone.
None in this game. Here's the 2-0. Called strike. Yep, good pitch under his hands. Really nothing he can do with it. 1, 2, 3 strikeouts in game 1. 2-1 count here to Zach Zitzman. He's our DH here in game number 2. Bulldogs lead 5-0. And Hyde comes home with it, and Zitzman chops it towards the second baseman. Kind of got a Bermuda Triangle. Zitzman's going to round all the way to second as the ball just kind of drifted into the short right. The second baseman pats himself, so that's my fault. Coming into scores Mitchell. Tell me about it, Keith.
What? It's going to be a hit. I mean, there's no play. I know the pitcher should have been there. His job is to, once it gets past the mound, his job is to cover first, and he gave up on it. And I think when the first baseman saw the pitcher give up on it, then he tried to do too much. He tried to take off back to first before he ever had the ball, so it goes under his glove. Second baseman was watching the first baseman was watching the pitcher, so the ball got by him as well. So it was complete anarchy everywhere. Zitzman did a great job. He knew hit behind the runner, get him to third. That's all he was trying to do. Gets a double out of the deal.
Yeah, and just a great piece of hitting. I mean, we all just gave up on the ball. Hey, how you doing, Doc Holt? Yes. This is Ty Holt's big brother in the house.
But so
Celebrity.
I mean, Zitzman did a good job, and I think I wasn't watching Mitchell. I was watching all this chaos go over here with the defense, but I'm pretty sure he was scoring no matter what.
Yes.
I think he was just rounding, and so Greenwood better base running, aggressive base running. We've seen him stretch a couple doubles, so I think this is where you want to be, going up the hill, getting closer to the top all the way through. And as they change pitchers, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. So we will be back here in about 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I do the call letters, but I keep forgetting them.
No, the Sports Hog is KHGG, but right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'll mess that up. So I just like, Tim has them memorized. He does such a good job.
Number 16 or number 18? Oh, okay. So they've moved him around from somewhere else. He was their center fielder. We welcome you back to Greenwood. Max Carter is going to come in relief of Jonathan Hyde and pitch. Carter, a left-handed pitcher, was in center field. So we'll try to figure out. Number 13 went to center field, it looks like, defensively.
And if you're Siloam, you've got to stop the bleeding. I mean, Greenwood has gotten runners on, have taken advantage of some miscues. You know, it all started with an error with Holt. And, you know, if you maybe get an out, maybe you get some momentum, but it just changed everything when you have speed on the bases. And then a few hits later, you look up and they put up a crooked number, put 5 up in the inning. So things are going Greenwood's way, and if you're Siloam, you need to stop the bleeding here. It could get out of hand.
That was Mason Edwards who trotted out to the outfield. We'll see if he takes in center field or if they move someone else around out there. He may go to right field. I believe that's number 13 standing on the right side over there. So Edwards going to go to right field. Or is that number? We'll see where the 12's at. 12, O'Brien goes to center. And Mason Edwards into right field. He will take O'Brien's there. I'm trying to figure out where he'll be in the lineup. Who came out? Hyde, the pitcher, was batting in the 7 hole. I don't know if he stayed in the game or not.
Well, what Coach Brewer needs to get these guys fired up for is, Harrison threw a lefty that kind of stymied our bats, and Southside threw a lefty that kind of stymied our bats. And, if everything shuts down now, people's going to have a formula to try to beat Greenwood. Look, all you got to do is throw a lefty. It doesn't even have to be an overpowering lefty. Just throw somebody from the other side, and Greenwood's bats will shut down. So what Greenwood needs to do here is stay hot, come out here, Bircher, do anything you can to get on base, and let's just keep this train rolling.
We'll thank our Dugout Club sponsors for all their help. Anchored Hope, Ben Sanitized, Boondocks, Farmers Bank, Greenwood Express Lube, Liberty Roofing, Oak Bauer Pest Control, West Arc Plumbing, Ronnie Terry Roofing. Here is Austin Bircher. Still no one out here in the bottom of the third. Bulldogs have 5 across, looking for more. Zitzman at second with a double. Bircher tried to get the bunt down and could not. Strike 1.
Well, and if he's still looking, he can see a push bunt. Well, lefty falls off to third base side. The second baseman was sprinting. If he could push bunt it to second base, it's probably if he push bunts it hard enough, it could be a double.
Max Carter up on top. The lefty takes a look at Zitzman, now comes home with it. Bunt is down. A great bunt off the mound. They're going to try to get him at first. To no avail. Thrown into right field. Bircher, big turn to second. Zitzman will score. Bircher heading to third base. And he'll be in at third on the 2-base error.
Yeah, with pitchers, if you have to reach out for that ball, it makes you come up with it, and you could tell he was going to sail it before he ever threw the ball, and he did. He overthrew first base by 4 to 5 feet, not 45 feet, 4 or 5 feet.
Still no one out here in the third. 6 runs across. Greenwood has tacked on the extra point. It's 7-0, and here's Brady Morgan. And the first one's over, but low, ball 1. Morgan reached on a fielder's choice the last time up. Carter in relief for Siloam. He'll bring it home in the dirt. Catcher kept that one in front of him. Keep the runner at third in Bircher.
And if you're Brady, you got to get better at situational hitting. It doesn't matter if you get a hit here. It just needs to be something to the right side or deep, something that finds the grass to the outfield.
Here's the 2-0. Tried at that time, just cued it straight back, though. He had the right thought, Keith. You were talking about it. 2-1. Softball looking for a sweep of their doubleheader over there against Siloam as well. Here's the 2-1. And Morgan just got a piece of one that was upstairs. Looked fat. 2-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. 7 across, or 6 across here for Greenwood in the inning. First 6 to reach the plate have scored. Bircher's at third. Here comes the 2-2. Yeah, it's fouled out of play. Well, Morgan's trying to go the other way with it. Well done.
And we were talking, you play Mountain Home next Tuesday. Your next game was going to be Friday at Northside, so you play Monday, and you have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's hard to get into, when you play these doubleheaders, just a rhythm that can keep going. And now you've got an extra day in between. So, practice and stuff is going to be crucial for these next, as we see Morgan barely foul one off on the outer part of the plate to hang in there. But it's just tough to get in a rhythm.
Right. This has turned into a decent at-bat here. This will be the 8th pitch, I believe, of the at-bat. 2-2. Carter up on top for Siloam, the lefty. Birchers at third has his lead. That's upstairs. Good eye. Full count now to Brady Morgan. Sophomore shortstop. Plenty of youth on this squad. Lots of good talent over there that doesn't get on the field quite yet either. Walked him. Good eye from Morgan. And we got runners at the corners, top of the order, and Skaggs. He'll be the ninth batter to come to the plate here in the inning.
He fouled off a couple borderline calls that he probably couldn't have driven, but he fouled them off, got another pitch. You know, like you said, it was probably a 9 or 10 pitch at bat, and he ends up on first base. That was a quality at bat. Very good at bat by Morgan.
Here's Skaggs. He's 0 for 2. Ground out and fly it out to center. And chops one towards the shortstop. He'll glove it and go to second and boot it. A low throw, but one that he probably should have came up with. A run will score. No one out still yet here in the third inning.
Well, and you can anticipate another grounder to the left side here by Holt probably. Just hope he hits it hard enough where somebody boots it again.
So we'll give Skaggs the RBI. But I believe we'll have to.
Do you get an RBI for an error?
Well, I think with no outs, he was going to score anyway.
Gotcha.
From third, right?
Gotcha. As long as you don't score on the air, like even if they get the out, he scores anyway. Yes, I agree with you. Do you think he was just giving words to kind of calm everybody down and say, "Look, you guys got to relax and make a play here"? What do you tell them when you go out there in that situation?
Well, he talked to the field ump. I don't know if he was.
Do you think he was on the transfer? Wasn't on the transfer. He never caught it.
No, I agree. Maybe that's just what he was just asking.
And that may be what he asked.
Yes.
Did you catch it and go to throw it?
So here comes Ty Holt now, who's reached on an error, scored the run. We've batted around here in the third. They're up at the corner on first on the grass a bit, and Holt looks at fastball number 1, much to the chagrin of half the broadcast crew.
He's got to be thinking. He's got to be thinking right center here.
Here's the 0-1. He kind of stepped that way, but it was so far outside, nothing to do with it. 1-1.
Yeah,
8-0.
Stay back.
Greenwood.
You know, he's Ty's an overthinker. He's if something happens, he starts overthinking, and I guess that's the youth in him.
Right. There should be one thought. And that's right side, correct? Try it again. That one was too far outside though. 1 and 2 kind of swung through it.
Yeah, just barrel. If you start thinking right side and you mess up and get an inside pitch, but the main thing is just barrel. Just stay back and barrel. Let it travel deeper.
1 ball, 2 strikes to the Greenwood catcher. First and second, here it comes. They just beat him up outside, and Ty went out after another one, swing and a miss, out number 1. Here's Carnes now, scored a run, walked in this inning. He singled and scored a run in the first. 8-0 Bulldogs. Carnes, I wouldn't mind seeing a round tripper right here just for the heck of it. Get us in line for that run rule action. He's due for a dinger. Carter up on top. Chops this one foul towards Coach Brewer. And Brandon will get it on 2 hops in the coach's box. Strike 1.
I don't care how slow a pitcher is, you cannot strike out in that situation. And Ty's just trying to foul it off, but he was lost from the first swing.
One strike to count to Grant Carnes, the Bulldogs' third baseman here in Game 2. Did get his 3rd win officially in the first game. That's inside. So if I get stats for next week's game at Mountain Home and it still says he's 2-0, I'm going to have words with somebody. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Bottom of the third, Bulldogs have 7 across already. Carnes, a chopper towards the third baseman, boots again. That's his 3rd error of the game. 2nd in the inning. And everybody's safe. And the bases are juiced.
You'll take him any way you can get it. You know, the only stat that matters at the end of the day is that it's 8-0.
Yes.
But you've got to be disciplined enough to where you're not rolling over on those type of pitchers, because other teams aren't going to give you those. Of course, what's he talking to Sanford about out in the field? He's talking to Sanford about something, but I don't know what he's talking to him about.
The lights are coming on here at the field. We'll say hey to my cousins, Nancy, Dennis, Pam, Jeff, and Sarah, Greg, Jack, Martha, and Tony, and my aunt Darlene watching tonight. Big party up on Mount Harmony. Came down from Oregon maybe for the eclipse. And now Coach Brewer's in the mix. Not sure what it is. Skaggs stretching out there on second base. The lights are coming on here at the ballpark. It's 8-0. And Carter up on top for Siloam, trying to get out of this inning. Pettigrew with a home run hack, swings and misses. Strike one. Brady has 2 RBI singles here in Game 2 and scored a run. Was plunked twice in Game 1. Up on the grass at first base. That's outside. Good stop from Mr. Marlette back there to keep the runners at bay. Bases loaded. Jackson Cole on deck. 1 out here in the third. 7 runs across for Greenwood. Looking for more. 10-0 is the run rule after 5 innings. And Pettigrew fouls this one back into the netting. We just saw that run rule take effect in Game 1 today. $8-0 the score. Pettigrew.
You'd like to get some more, so if anything does happen, tack on, get 11 or 12. Bases loaded, 1 out.
That's outside. Close. Siloam wanted it. It was outside. Been there a couple of times. 2-2. Half-price tacos? Oh, hot dogs. I thought, if there's tacos, I'm off the air. I'm out. It's all y'all's. 2-2 to Pettigrew. And fouls it right back at us.
I would think with Carnes at first, anything that's close to a gap, he's probably going to try to score. We haven't seen great arms from the outfield. They're back a little deeper now. Depends on what coach is thinking. I'm thinking he's going to be thinking like we are, that get as many runs as possible. It's a conference game. You can be nice later.
That's right. 8-0. Greenwood leads. Here's the 2-2 to Pettigrew. Bottom of the third inning. Just missed upstairs.
Because one coach said, it's my job to stop you. If you can keep scoring, keep scoring.
That's
Don't be
right.
nice to me. Our job's to stop you. Your job's to try to score.
Absolutely. Full count. And Pettigrew swung and missed. Boy, he was looking for one to drive, and he couldn't find that one with a bit of a 7-iron. 2 down now, and here's Jackson Cole. He's 1 for 2, scored a run. Flied out to center. You talk about, I got to stop you. That's what you just score. It's my job to stop you. Well, that's what the run rule's in there for. That's the, I'm sorry, I'll be nice. That's the 10 after 5.
That's right.
Cole swings and misses. That's the mercy rule in football and basketball. Those were installed so the coaches don't have to be nice. They can just play and get your kids to execute whatever sport they're in. Let the clock and the quarter dictate the niceness. Inside, 1-1. Jackson Cole. 2 outs now, trying to get this rally going. Keep it going. Jackson is the 13th batter to come to the plate here in the third.
You love that when you're doing the book, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's exciting. Outside. 2-1 now. Jackson's got a little flair for the dramatic. He had a walk-off win against Van Buren, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. Here's the 2-1. Just low. 3-1.
Every time he missed, he doesn't call that low pitch. The umpire grabs the dirt and slings it behind him.
I think it's kind of one of them Rule 8-0s. I should have called that, but I know it's not a strike. Walked him. And a run's walked in. Jackson Cole gets the RBI. Morgan will come in to score. 9-0.
Austin Mitchell.
Carnes. Oh, Skaggs came in to score. Where am I at on my book? Yep. Okay. There we go. That's where I've missed.
It's tough when you got to have that whole other column up there.
I still don't think I'm right, but this is Mitchell either way. 1 for 3. Or he grounded out. He's 1 for 2. Grounded out and had a 2 RBI single. Swing and a miss. Here's the 1-1. Just missed outside. 2-1. Yes, so Skaggs is at third. Carnes at second. Cole's at first. I got it now. 2 outs in the third. 9-0 Bulldogs. That gets away from the catcher, and Skaggs will scurry home. Runners move up. Carnes to third. Cole to second. Mitchell has a 3-1 count. Keith, everyone has scored in the inning. The first 9 to reach all came around to score.
That's a good inning.
Yeah. 10-0. The second time through the order here, a couple of strikeouts. And there's another walk, and they're back loaded just like that.
And then you got Zitzman up, and he's hitting to the right fielder who has the sun. This is probably the worst time of the day for the right fielder. The shadows haven't quite made it to him yet. Sun's directly in his face.
And Zitzman swinging a red-hot bat. Had an RBI double. Flied out to the warning track here in game 2. 1 for 2. Bases loaded. 9 runs across here in the third. Is 10-0. Ooh, Zitzman swinging a miss.
You like the aggressiveness.
Yes.
Probably not the best pitch to swing at first time, but boy, I like him being aggressive, trying to make something happen.
Max Carter up in relief. And Zitzman lifts this one in the air. Who's going to do it? Shortstop or third? Short says, give me that thing. And he makes the catch to finally retire the inning.
9 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors, 3 men left on base.
Greenwood scored 9 times. 9 times in the inning.
It's from Bueller, Ferris Bueller.
Yes. 4 hits for the Bulldogs. And they lead 10-0.
I'm looking at it right here on my screen. He has missed 9 days.
Yeah.
And it's going down 8,
9
7
times.
6.
Right. 10-0. Greenwood leads through 3 innings. Mason Moore. Now, Keith, we talked about this last time. We had a big running inning against Van Buren, I guess, to come back and tie that thing up. Here we go again with Moore, who's been sitting in there in the dugout for a while.
I saw him up pitching. I kept looking over there, and Wyatt Fry, the backup catcher, was in there catching him, and so he's
Okay.
staying loose.
Okay, good. Didn't know what the rules were on that. I guess there's no rule. You can go down the bullpen if you want, huh?
The rules are there are no rules. Second bridge and back.
Driving for pink slips.
That's right.
Grease. Good. Very good. Crate of face.
That's Grease too.
Well, he was the same guy.
Oh, same. Yes.
10-0. Well, let's see what Siloam's kind of wherewithal.
You got to try to get one. Put a little pressure on Greenwood to get some more because it's got to go at least 5. Correct?
Yes.
This is the top of the 4th.
Jacob Davis struck out looking to end the first inning. Here's Mason Moore back to work for Greenwood. First pitch swinging. It's in the air. Cole behind second base in the dirt makes the stab for out number 1. Pop out to the 4.
Yeah.
Yep, 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Max Carter, who's pitching now for Siloam.
Now batting the pitcher, number 18, Max Carter.
Started out in center field. And first pitch swinging. Can Mitchell get there? He certainly can. 2 down, 2 pitches.
And you got to love the faith in Cole. Cole just kind of quit immediately and said, I'm going to let Mitchell catch that because I know he's running in full speed anyway.
Right. And avoid a collision. Now, here's Braxton Majors. He's grounded out to the pitcher.
You got to take this pitch. You can't have 3 pitches, 3 outs. That's a steak dinner.
Here it is. He did. He took it. Strike 1. And just missed inside. 1-1.
Wow. No, thank you.
Here's a 1-1. Oh, he went the other way. Is it slicing? Fair. Oh, that's going to be extra bases into the corner. Nice bit of hitting there from Braxton Majors, which comes to reason he's their designated hitter. That's what he's supposed to do. And a 2-out double.
He just let it get deep and threw his barrel to the ball, hit it well.
That's one way to avoid the perfect inning there. The state dinners went from 2 outs, 2 pitches to a 2-out double now. And here's Brody Addington. He's their third baseman.
Well, it's good for more. You can't stop pitching. I mean,
right.
This is good for him, too, to be in this situation. I know it's easier to pitch with a 10-run lead, but, again, to you it's 0-0. You can't let him get 1.
That ball had some movement on it, Keith. We've talked about that all year. That thing's nasty.
And he hadn't been getting some of the calls he normally gets either. Some of those balls are going back to the plate, and the umpire's just missing them.
That one went inside. 1-1 now to Brady Addington, their third baseman. That's right down Broadway. Called strike. Could have had him. Didn't get any better than that.
Top Gun.
Right. There's a little check swing flare to Pettigrew, who makes the catch in foul ground for the 3rd out. They left a man on base. They've left 3 on all 3 hits. Greenwood 10. Siloam 0. Shout out to the Vaughns down at Show Bay. You've got us tuned in. Said looking good, dogs are as well. Middle of the 4th inning. Let's take a quick timeout. It's Greenwood baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. Minute. In that sign language, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! What's this one? No, this one.
No.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Or, you want that?
No, thank you. You said no cheese.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
No, I got cheese also.
There, you can have 2. We welcome you back to Greenwood. Bottom of the 4th we go. And it is Austin Bircher here in the 4th. Bircher was the first guy to face this Carter, the relief pitcher, back in the 3rd. He's reached on an error twice and scored a run. Bircher swinging away this time. We've seen him square to bunt quite a bit. Oh, I like the hack there. And it's what he'd like to have back, I think. That's a good pitch. 10-0, Greenwood leads. Max Carter up on top for Siloam. He kicks and fires a lefty. There was the square to bunt and then pull back at a ball that was out of the strike zone. 1-1.
Well, and you're on the verge of possibly playing 10 innings in one game, and you're cheating yourself from some innings. So you want to stay aggressive. You want to keep hitting. You want to keep scoring as many runs as possible so you get those at-bats.
It's foul back out of play. 1-2 from Bircher. Crowd murmurs as if there was glass involved in that foul ball. Hopefully Jason Hill's got his checkbook out just in case. Shelter insurance. Here's the 1-2. And lifted to center. Will it get down? It will. And it's a single for Bircher. Nice piece of hitting there.
And he's one of the ones you talk about, at Southside. He struggled. It's just you got to get some of these guys rolling. And it's good to see them come out. I don't care who you're playing. You still got to hit. You still got to go up there and put the ball in play and barrel balls up. And Bircher's had himself a pretty good day.
Here's Brady Morgan. Reached on a fielder's choice. Walked, scored a run. They all scored a run in the third. 9 across. First 9 to reach, scored. And Carter comes home with it. It's in the dirt, and it bounces back to the stop. Bircher will make a big turn at second and stay there. Ball one. You still got
to get a couple. You don't know what's going to happen.
I agree.
You get a couple guys run into them. What you can't do is not score here with a runner at second, and then something does happen. Now you play an extra inning and give them any new life. Plus, it looks so much better when you turn in the conference report that you won 10-0, 10-0.
Yes.
Or 11-0s. It looks so much better.
There's that way you erase they just barely beat Siloam.
We've always talked baseball's a confidence thing.
Yep.
So if you can play Alma, who split with Siloam, and they see that you handled them nicely, then you have a mental and emotional edge going into the conference game against Alma.
Yes. Here's the first one to Morgan, and it was called a ball. Actually, it's his second one. It was a 1-0 pitch, so it's 2-0 now. I don't know where that one was.
I'm going to start watching the screen.
Looked tasty.
Right over the plate.
Boy, it was. Here's the 2-0. Bircher at second. That one missed outside. Oh, thank you.
I'm all about growth and stuff. It's important to have growth, and I may the umpire asked, how they did. I may have to just say, just watch it. You did fine. Just watch it. Just go watch it, and then maybe he'll
self-critique.
Yeah, self-critique and get better. Just get better.
Here's the 3-0, and he walked him. Those were 3 easy ones to count. Those were easy. Yeah, one of them was in the play though. Here's Scott Holland going to come in and pinch hit for Skaggs in the fourth. And Carter's going to lose the ball, and Coach Smith's going to go to the next Panther in line. It looks like it's going to be someone that was on the infield.
Man, it looks like he's going to let Holland get in at bat. He's probably going to do a few more, let few more guys get some at bats. But it looks like he's letting Holt stay in there because you got your 2 holes, been your 2 hole all year. He's got to find his groove, and to me, it's more of a mental thing than a groove. We always talk about as good hitters. Good hitters make adjustments quicker, so you don't have bad games, which turn into bad days. And that's kind of what Holt's done, is he's led a couple bad at-bats, which weren't awful, but they just weren't what his expectations should be, turn into a bad day. So you got to see if he can fix it. So other than that, I really anticipate some other guys getting some swings. You see Aaron Taylor with a bat. So he's going to let some other guys get some swings in.
This is Brady Arrington coming in to pitch, right-hander.
The left-hander didn't do bad. He just got to where he couldn't throw strikes. And, against Greenwood, a team that's patient, you got to be able to throw the ball over the plate some.
This guy's been at third base, Addington. So he goes to pitcher. Carter went back to center field. And then this Mason Edwards that came in and played some right, he's going to third base.
Well, even if, and again, Siloam Springs will compete. They compete. But I'm sure they'll tell you right now, this coach he was kind of having to play the hand that was dealt him, and defensively they haven't been good today. they're going to have to improve there defensively and get a couple of arms if they're going to stay competitive, because this is a tough conference. And we talk about across the state, this division is tough enough.
I agree with all that. So Scotty Holland's going to lead us off here. Batting .312 up to date, and he will see Brody Addington for the first time here. Holland, the right-handed bat, a righty-righty matchup. Greenwood, the runners at first and second, still nobody out here in the fourth.
Oh.
That's over but low. Nope, called strike to Holland at the knees. Single for Bircher, walk for Morgan. They're at second and first. That's outside.
Awful close to a balk. Be surprised if the umpire don't say something to him out in the field, kind of do some preventative officiating, 10-0. Say, hey, make sure you pause. Say it under your breath just so we can hear it.
1 ball, 1 strike.
There he paused.
Right in there for Holland. 1 and 2. Is the count. From the stretch, Addington. Here it is. Holland fouls that one straight back into the netting.
You see Vincey with a helmet on. Hopefully they can keep this thing going. Some of these guys can get some at-bats. No JV today.
Didn't play one Saturday either, did they?
They did not. So it got canceled, so you had a varsity only.
Here's the 1-2 to Holland. Upstairs. 2 and 2. Nobody out. Greenwood leading 10-0 here at bottom of the fourth. They won game 1 10-0 in 5 innings. Holland sends this one to center. That's going to be a base hit for sure. Bircher on his horse. Scores 1 run. Morgan sees the center fielder boot a bit. He'll go to third. Holland with the heads-up base running. Waited for the throw to come in and moves to second. Well done. And another run for the Bulldogs.
A lot better job of base running. Everybody aggressive. Morgan picked it up quickly. As soon as the boot, he just kept going. You don't have to look at coach on those plays. You know if you should take it. Good job. Good piece of hitting. Holland didn't try to do too much. He just tried to put a barrel on the ball. He was a little bit out front, but he stayed back long enough just to hit a line drive up the middle. Great all the way around.
Here's Ty Holt. Bottom of the fourth. Looks at strike 1 on the inside, Black. He's grounded out, struck out, reached on an error. His courtesy runner, which I think was Holland, scored a run in the third. Scotty in the game now. That one's in the dirt. To the backstop she goes. Morgan will jog in. No problem. The run scores. Holland to third. A 1-1 count now for Ty Holt. $12-0. 2 across here.
You still like to get this third one?
I'd like to score 100 more. Won't bother me. Here's a 1-1. Way outside to the backstop she goes. Holland will trot in from third, and there you go. You asked, you shall receive. 2-1 now to Ty Holt. Plenty of room now to run. Base paths are empty. Somebody unplugged the drain, and all the dogs ran home.
Yep.
Here's a 2-1. Swinging, nice hack at it, fouled it back. Woo! You'd like to have that one back, huh?
Yeah, you missed that one. That's the thing, you can't miss foul. You get fastballs over the middle of the plate, and you can't miss. You can tell when maybe he's thinking things are supposed to just happen because it's his birthday, but that's not the way it is in baseball.
Here's a 2-2. Good eye there. How old is he?
16.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Ty. Here's a 3-2. Addington comes home with it, and he walked him. Good at bat. And in Carnes' place will be Shelton. No, that's Vincey. Ashton Vincey will come in here in the bottom of the fourth.
Number 1, Jacob Gigerich.
Jacob Gigerich will come in and courtesy run for Ty Hope, the catcher. First at bat for Gigerich here in varsity action.
Or Vinci.
Or Vinci, rather. Beg your pardon. Called strike.
Again, if you don't see the 4 seniors that are out there, everybody else is underclassmen. There's no seniors on the bench. You got 4 is what you get. You got Skaggs, Mitchell, Bircher, and Pettigrew, and everything else you're seeing and doing. You're building for the future because that's something you constantly got to do.
That one's in the dirt. There goes the runner. Gigerich going to ease up to second. 1-1 to Vinci. He's actually 0 for 1. He struck out in his only varsity at bat. Addington up on top for Siloam, the righty. Checks on the runner at second. And now comes home with it. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jacob Gigerich, the courtesy runner. That's got to be Liliana's little brother.
It is. Little Jake.
She was Miss Teen Arkansas or something, wasn't she? You pageant folk. Hey, this one's in the air. Center fielder drifts, draws the bead. That's Carter back out there in center. He'll make the out of Vinci here in the 4th. That's the first out.
Freshman Aaron Taylor is up at the plate with another freshman, Cooper Webb, on deck.
Now batting number 19, Aaron Taylor.
Here's Aaron Taylor. To get an at-bat, a left-handed bat. He's also 0 for 1. Drew a walk and scored in his only plate appearances. Swinging a home run hack. This kid we like. I think, I talked to Tony Sanford, I was telling you earlier, and he liked this kid's approach at Southside. Got in there, never left the box. Had a nice walk. I believe drew a walk. Left-handed bat. That one's fouled out of play. Sometimes you'll see guys get out and fix the gloves, and he said, Taylor just kind of stood in the box and just said, bring it to me. Made the catcher kind of work around him. He's up on the plate with 2 strikes. And Addington from the stretch. Gigerich out at second. 0-2 to Aaron Taylor. They throw back, and Gigerich scampers in. Standing up. 13-0. Bulldogs put a baker's dozen on them right now. Bottom of the 4th. Here's Taylor. Waits on it. They come home with it. And swing and a miss. Boy, he's wondering how. He said, I swung right through that ball. And he sure did.
Well, sometimes when you move closer to the plate, that ball was probably outside, and he knew that's normally a strike, and it was still a little bit outside.
Here's Cooper Webb coming in batting in Cole's spot. Webb is batting 100. He's had a hit, a single in varsity action, struck out 4 times. He missed that one, ball 1. Bulldogs have put 3 across here in the inning. Lead 13-0. They'll be needing 3 outs in the top of the 5th for a run rule victory. That's outside.
They're just not getting a lot ever since Holt's at bat. You're just not getting a lot to hit. It's not even close.
You see Marlette look to the dugout like, I don't know, just trying to get strikes across.
Oh, I know.
Shrugged his shoulders. Here's the 2-0. That's in there and ripped out into center field, and it will be an RBI for Cooper Webb. Fantastic. In relief. Single.
Good piece of hitting. They just exactly what you're supposed to do. Hit inside the ball. Didn't try to do too much.
And the Bulldogs have put another touchdown on them. It's 14-0.
Now batting number 14, Trevor Shelton.
Here's Trevor Shelton now. Shelton has done some courtesy running. This is first at bat, and he looks at ball one.
He's a guy in JV that's been making a lot of contact, made a lot of noise early by just putting the ball in play, getting on base a whole lot. See if he can do it here. Yep, there he goes.
Yes, and there's a hit in the 5-6 hole. Webb will make a big turn at second, make him throw it in, but he stays there, and it's a single for Travers Shelton. First and second now. Who's going to hit for Zitzman?
Mason Moore.
Yeah.
Take away the DH and let him hit for himself.
Mason Moore.
So Moore is 0 for 3 batting in varsity action. That one bounces back over the catcher. The runners will move up. Webb to third, Shelton to second. 1 ball to Moore. I have certainly said Greenwood 14, Siloam 0 before in my lifetime. Many times. Almost every year I've said at least once. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Low and away to Moore. He's in ahead 2-0. 9th batter to reach here in the fourth. To reach the plate anyway. I believe Bircher's out on deck, going to get one more chance at it if we can get there. That one hits short of the plate, bounces over the catcher. Webb will come in to score. Shelton to third. 15-0 now.
And Webb thought about not scoring. He thought, you know what? I don't get this opportunity very much. I'm going to go touch home.
Yes. I've seen Coach Saki before step out on the plate at home, leave base early. In softball, the rules obviously a little different. Right down the middle to Moore, taking all the way on 3-0, and he's got a 3-1 count now, and Mason's ready to go now. I can see him get that first varsity hit here. He's walked. There's a chopper right back to the pitcher. He'll jog it over and underhand it to the first baseman for out number 3. 1-3 on the putout. Bulldogs sent 5 runs across the plate on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. What's that for the game? 10 hits? Yeah, good.
Well, that's good for Mason. Get his blood going. Run down to first a little bit. Jog back. Get that blood going. Throw some strikes here. Get this inning finished up, and then go home. And you've had a kind of an easy night after a hectic day with all the apocalyptic talk of the eclipse.
Yes.
So now you can go home and relax, and there's a new day tomorrow if it's here.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by our Grand Slam sponsors, JH Automation Solutions, Craig Gigerich State Farm Insurance, Duck's Body Shop, Freedom Roofing, MSG Waste, Shirley's Tax Services, Taylor Family Vision, Top Notch Roofing, Virtue Energy Services, and Braden Skaggs is going to get up on the bump for the Bulldogs. Keith, have we seen him pitch?
I don't think he has. I think it's a senior, and this is kind of a let him get in there and pitch. I don't know that he's pitched at all. I don't think he's recorded a pitch. You got Taylor at first. You kind of got everybody that got their at-bats kind of came in. Now you've got some people moved around, and Vincey's at third. Webb's at second. Can't see that far in the outfield.
Well, Bircher's in center.
It looks like Travers, Shelton's in right.
Yes. It is 14.
Gigrich in left?
It is. Number 1.
Yep, so you got Gigrich in left. So everybody get to, it's not very often you get to do that in a conference play.
No, right.
Get some of these young guys some important innings because every inning, every at-bat you get as a young guy is important to build on for the future.
Taylor at first base. Well, here's Skaggs making his debut on the mound. The senior brings a fastball over but low for ball 1.
And you've got a cushion to where, you just can't let him score more than 5. So give him a shot, see what he can do.
There's one sliced foul outside third base. The left-handed hitting Jonathan Hyde. 1-1 count. Skaggs kicks and fires.
Ooh.
Little inside. That's the only danger. You don't want to walk and plunk people when you get a position player pitching, if you will. 15-0, top of the fifth. Greenwood needing 3 outs for the consecutive run rule victories. That one's upstairs. You know, if you get into a deal, you know, everything's based around the state tournament, Keith. That's what you should be playing for and getting ready for. And that's a walk on a 3-1 borderline. And here's number 13, Mason Edwards. You get a situation in postseason and things are falling apart and you need somebody to come in and pitch, and you kind of think back on this outing right here as Skaggs brings a fastball in there for a strike. If you ever have to have a all-hands-on-deck day where it's just not working, pitch counts are up, et cetera, there goes the runner. Holt's going to throw down and got him. Morgan almost late getting there, but he made a good job of getting that ball across the bag, and they cut down the runner. That's 2 caught stealings for Ty Holt back there, Keith.
Yeah, it was wrong side of the bag. It's an easier tag for Morgan if he throws it to the first base side. It's very rare you steal from third.
Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. Now, with a pitcher that's not used to pitching, Skaggs, we're going to say he was standing in the way, and so Ty had to throw around him.
Gotcha.
I'll defend.
Was
the
he
shot.
in the way? Was
No,
he still standing there?
Yeah, we're going to say he was. The 1-2's fouled out, just to maybe save him from getting the 30 lashes tonight there in the dungeon room.
It was glove side. So what happens is when you get your body that way, if you don't get back to the balls of your feet, you stay on your heels and you tend to throw it to the left side. And again, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he is a young kid.
Swing and a miss for Skaggs, who gets his first strikeout of his senior year. And here comes Blake Beckett. He's their last chance. 15-0 here in the top of the fifth. Curveball. Boy, that's nasty stuff. Skaggs settling in a bit. That thing had a little movement on it and a little fuzz to go with it. Here's the 0-1. There it is again. Sawed him off. A little sword fighting. Darth Vader style.
Did.
Here's the 0-2.
Sound effects. Found a groove.
And Skaggs upstairs, 1-2. Jovial. We've got the tomahawk chop going from the Greenwood dugout. Here's the 1-2. Bounce that one in. Good job of Holt to block it. This is good work for a Ty back there as well. A pitcher that might throw some erratic stuff. Give him a chance to work on some of his bouncing moves.
Yeah, you can tell that didn't find anything that's protective.
Here's the 2-2. Outside. 3-2. Top of the order looming in Nolan Wills. If Beckett can extend the game here. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him. Holt will throw it down to first and complete it, and that's the ball game. Nice little relief look from Braden Skaggs, but the Bulldogs on a huge 9-run third inning will sweep this doubleheader in run rule fashion. 15-0 here in Game 2 to keep their lead in conference as the Bulldogs move to 7-1 now and 15-4 overall. Siloam drops to 4-15, 1-7.
Well, you got to have some of these games. It keeps your arms fresh, lets you not throw 90 to 100 pitches. We see Carnes and Moore, number 1 and 2 in conference. Now you get an extra day of rest as you'll throw your bullpens. Might get to throw if they do play Friday an inning or two against Northside just to get the feel and get back on the mound, stretch that arm out a little bit. But you get to make sure everybody's healthy. So that way you go into, you've swept them, you've done what you're supposed to. Now you got to travel. Can you do it on the road? Because state tournament's in Harrison, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a journey. So this will be a good step for Greenwood as you treat it like, okay, look, we're going to practice for the state tournament. We're gonna say this is an important game. I don't throw records out. We got to do X, Y, and Z, and you make sure they do X, Y, and Z. And that way you've prepared them for the state tournament, and you win 2 games at Mountain Home.
Well, the Bulldogs win 25-0 combined here in this doubleheader in conference play as they keep their winning streak alive here with another sweep. 15-0 here in the nightcap. Mason Moore gets the win. Carnes got the win in game 1. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And we'll be on the air streaming radio at Mountain Home next Tuesday, April the 16th, weather permitting. Sure enjoyed it, Keith.
Hey, it was
Kid
fun.
played well.
Yes.
Yeah, good job tonight. I'm glad you made it through the eclipse.
Me too. I'm glad you made it as well. I can't see as well, but
Right. No, you couldn't see anyway. So the darkness may have helped you a little bit.
I think it did.
All right. Appreciate you tuning in on YouTube at Greenwood Sports Center. Sean Holland produced and engineered and directed tonight's broadcast online. That's Joey Buffkin out there on the center field camera. And appreciate the boys at Crosswalk Media for all their help getting us on the air. If you'd like to donate, feel free to get in that pocketbook and donate to those boys. They do a good job getting these broadcasting these games to you. Michael Ferris was back at the radio station, the Fort Smith Media Group, making me sound so good over on the Sports Hog. I certainly appreciate you tuning in on the radio side, as we will be back with you next Tuesday for more Greenwood baseball from the 5A West at Mountain Home. Bulldogs sweep tonight, move to 7-1 in conference and 15-4 overall. We will say goodbye here as you've been watching on Greenwood Sports Center live on YouTube and listening on your home for local sports in the Western Arkansas corridor. Fox Sports Radio, the Sports Hog.